I'm going to show you the results of taking honeybees, which you see here behind me, and adding them to a noxious weed known as knapweed. Knapweed is the plant that's growing all behind me here. We have a lot of knapweed here in the grass-fed homestead, and knapweed is pretty undesirable as far as pastures go. Knapweed is very prevalent here in the inland northwest, and it's in fact listed as a noxious weed and an invasive species, and it's taking over all the pastures around here. So naturally, a lot of farmers and ranchers are turning to herbicides to manage their knapweed. When it's in its younger state, it has a lot of basal leaves, and its stems are very soft and palatable to grazing ruminants such as sheep. So my sheep actually graze on it when it's young, but when it's left to grow up, it gets very big and bushy, and these stems lignify and turn very woody, thus making it very unpalatable to ruminant animals. And as you can see here, as I pan the camera across, it is quite prolific. Just about 2 years ago, one of our viewers, Peoria Dude, who now has the channel Bobblehead Homestead, if you guys want to check that channel out, he wrote in and asked how I plan on managing my bracken fern and my tansy, and of course the knapweed. What was my plan to reclaim the pastures? I responded to his question in the form of a video called Noxious Weed Management. I'll leave a link for that video, but in that video I talk about my management plan for dealing with the knapweed. And if you guys were watching our videos last year, you saw how we used the pigs to come through this pasture that I'm standing on right now to turn up the soil, eat the knapweed roots, and then I overseeded it, creating really lush pasture for the sheep to graze. My attitude about knapweed, though, started to change last summer after talking to a beekeeper. Last summer I met a beekeeper who has since become a really good friend of mine, but last summer he was looking for places to put his beehives all around our area so he could sell the honey from it. In exchange for hosting the bees, he would give us some of the honey at the end of the harvest. We love honey, so we happily invited the beekeeper to come here. His only concern was that we were a little far out for him for his travel, but he asked me, "Do you guys have much knapweed on your property?" And I said, "Oh boy, we have so much knapweed on our property. Is that a problem? Is it toxic to the bees? Is there a reason why that's not good?" He said, "No, to the contrary, knapweed is awesome for beekeeping because bees love the flowers on knapweed, and it results in the most premium honey available." So it was not a hard decision for the beekeeper to make. He quickly brought his beehives here after learning how much knapweed was here. Those of you who have been watching our videos for a long time are probably wondering, why is this the first time you're hearing about bees on our property? The reason for that is my friend the beekeeper does not want to go on camera, so I was never able to make a video about it last year because I'm not a beekeeper. I can't go back there and talk about the bees much other than, hey, they're here. So I never made a video about it because I didn't have someone to talk about the bees. But we got a really nice North Idaho knapweed honey harvest last fall. The honey is exquisite. I have always been a really big fan of orange blossom honey. I think that is the best honey, but this knapweed honey that we got is right up there with it. So we've really been enjoying this honey since last fall. And when the bees came back here again in the spring, I talked to the beekeeper about trying to make some of that honey available for you guys. My friend only had a very little bit amount left of the North Idaho knapweed honey from last fall's harvest. So I was able to get the last little bit of it and make it available to you guys. So I made an announcement to the folks that are signed up to receive our emails. I announced that we had this honey available, and I put it in our web store with a link so people could go there and order some of it. And I'm excited to report that some of you guys wanted to try this honey and ordered some. Now that the orders have come in, I've got to take the honey that came in the big buckets and get it in bottles. Well, that was definitely cool getting those orders in and bottling the honey up, packaging it and everything. I really thank you guys for the support on that. If you're interested in trying the North Idaho Knapweed honey and you haven't ordered any yet, you can head on over to our website, grassfedhomestead.com, and click on the product link, and you'll see for raw honey, you'll see a link there, and you can click through and check out the options. The North Idaho Knapweed honey comes from not just our beehives, because we obviously don't have enough for a huge supply, but it also comes from many of the farms that you have seen featured here on the Grass-Fed Homestead. The Shepherd Ranch, Baba Blacktail Farm with Tess, Katie from Kelly Creek Farm, Beth and Dave from Cable Creek Farm, Jennifer Hagee from Overbay Farm, Rob and Molly from Amiable Acres, and several other of my friends all are hosting bees from this beekeeper, so it's all coming from either our homestead or farms that you already know about through our channel who are using organic, sustainable practices to raise their animals. So you know this is really clean, raw honey, only slightly filtered to get out some of the impurities in there, but not filtered enough to where the good stuff is being strained out. All the good stuff is in there, the pollen, etc. So this is a really high quality premium North Idaho Knapweed honey. We also have some orange blossom honey on there. That is not from our property. Obviously we don't grow oranges here in North Idaho. It came from California, but the same beekeeper who keeps some bees in California as well. And this is a premium orange blossom honey if you want to try that too. And if you're a Patreon supporter, you can log into your Patreon account and go to the Grass-Fed Homestead page, and you'll see there that there's a coupon code for you to save 10% on your order. If we sell out of the honey and all the sales go well, then this fall I'm going to be getting more of the knapweed honey that's being harvested from here and the other neighboring farms, and we can offer this product hopefully year-round. But I am going to need your help and support with that, guys. So if you are interested, head on over to grassfedhomestead.com, and again, follow the links on over to the honey in the web store section and see what you think. Little buddy, what do you think about the knapweed honey?
Tastes good.
It tastes good?
Yeah.
What about the orange blossom honey?
Orange blossom? I don't remember that taste.
You don't remember? Yeah, we haven't used that one in a while, but...
Yeah.
So if you were going to rate the knapweed honey based on your thumbs up scale, what would you give it? 2 thumbs up?
Yep, I would for honey. And maple syrup.
And maple syrup?
Yeah.
What would you say to people who are watching this? Should they get some of the knapweed honey?
Yeah. Pretty good.